Hey guys, Cunningham here, and today I will be showing you all the most overused loadout in CSGO.
Meow.
Okay guys, now before we get into it, I would just like to say, for this video, I have left out a lot of the, 3 cent, 5 cent skins like the sand dunes and the polar camos and stuff like that because they just look disgusting, and even though, a lot of people use them, I thought I'd get ones that look half decent. Also guys, if you would like some cheap Steam games or just some Steam codes, maybe on some PSN codes or MSN codes, check out g2a.com, use the link in the description, and when you buy a product from their website, you will get a nice 3% off. Okay guys, now to start off with the pistols, we have the USPS Torque. Now, I don't think I've been in many comp games where I just have not seen the USP Torque used. You could argue and say that something like the Lead Conduit is used more, which, really, I just see the Torque more, so that's why I put it. Now, next up, guys, we have the Glock 18 Bunsen Burner, a really nice looking skin. Looks good in every single condition, and it's really cheap as well. As you'll find with a lot of the skins in these videos, they are pretty cheap because, well, if you were walking around with a $3-4 skin, it's not like a lot of people are going to be using it. Next up for the Dual Berets, we have the Dueling Dragons. Now, these also look good in pretty much any condition. I mean, they just have a lot of detail on them and they just work really nicely. Now, for the P250, I was going to put the Sand Dune in, but as I said, I wanted to make the skins look half decent. Even though the P250 Sand Dune is probably the most used P250 in the whole game, I decided to put the Valence in because that's probably the second most used, and it's probably the best looking one out of it. Now for the 5.7, we have the Orange Peel. Now, I was looking through the 5.7s, and I realized that there wasn't too many skins that actually looked that good and had a lot of people using them. But as I was looking through the Steam market, I saw that there was a lot of Orange Peels, so I just decided, hey, why not just put that in. Now for the Tech 9, I've chosen the Bamboo Forest because, yeah, it just looks really nice, guys, and if you put a couple of those Drug War Veteran stickers on it, it's just too dank, man. It has a lot of dank meme. Now for the Deagle, I don't know what I was thinking. I was going to put in the Corithian, but that's a friggin' pink. So I decided to put in the Bronze Deco. But almost every time you open up one of the cases that this is in, 9 times out of 10 you'll get the Bronze Deco. Now for the Nova, I've chosen the Nova Candy Apple. I mean, this skin, it just looks really clean in factory new condition, and yeah, I do see a lot of people using it. Now for the XM, I decided to go for the XM Blue Steel. I mean, this thing just looks insane for how cheap it is. It's only like 6 cents on the market, so if you want a really nice looking XM, go buy the Blue Steel. Field tested, just looks insane. Now for the Mag 7, we have the Cobalt Core. Now, this thing is basically the same as the Bronze Deco. You get it so much when you open the cases, man. The Cobalt Core, it just, I don't know, it just gets dropped heaps, and it's really cheap. It doesn't look that bad, so that's why a lot of people use it. Next up for the Sword Off, we have the Sword Off Origami. Now, just like the Mag 7, this thing is just dropped a lot as well, so that's why the Origami. Now for the M249, not that many people use the M249. I mean, if you use the M249, and you actually like it, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you because it's shit. But yeah, for the M249, it shows the Impact Drill. It doesn't look that bad, but then again, it's an M249, so I doubt anyone's going to be playing with this anyway. Go on to the Negev. I was tempted to choose the Terrain, but I mean, the Man-O-War just looks so much better, and thinking about it, I have seen the Man-O-War used a lot more than the Terrain, but yeah, I mean, the Man-O-War just looks really nice compared to the Terrain as well, so yeah, that's why I chose it. Now, for the MP9, I have chosen the Ruby Poison Dart. I mean, it just looks really nice, and it's cheap as well, so a nice cheap purple looks really good, and yeah, I mean, can't argue with it. Now for the Mac 10, I couldn't really think of any Mac 10s that we use heaps, but the Candy Apple, I've seen used quite a bit, but not many people use the Mac 10, so yeah, the Candy Apple, I have chosen to put in this video, but I have seen a lot more people use the Mac 10 Neon Rider instead of the Candy Apple, but the Candy Apple just seems to have a lot more people buying it and stuff on the market, so that's why I chose. Now for the MP7, MP7, we have the Urban Hazard. Really nice looking skin. It is dropped a lot from the cases, so that's why it's really cheap. It's only like 8 cents or something at the moment. So if you do want a really nice looking MP7, really cheap, I recommend going out and buying the Urban Hazard. Now for the UMP, here I have chosen the Riot. Not that the UMP is used much either, but when I've seen it used, it's mostly with the Riot on it. Probably the most popular UMP skin. But the best looking UMP skin we all know is the Primal Saber. I mean, that thing just looks insanely good. But if you want a cheap, nice looking UMP, choose the Riot, because now for the P90, I've chosen the P90 Elite build. Just like all the other blue skins, it's dropped a lot from the cases, and you know, it doesn't look that bad as well. It's an elite build. It's just everywhere. Now onto the PP Bison. I've chosen the Phototic Zone. These things, I swear to God, every time I open a Wildfire case, I get the PP Bison. I mean, it doesn't look that good, but you know, it's a nice cheap PP Bison. And yeah, for the Scar 20, I've chosen the Green Machine, and you could argue say that the Storm or something like that is used more than it, which is probably true. For the sake of this video, I've chosen one that looks half decent and gone with the Green Marine. Now onto the Dak, I've chosen the Green Apple. This is my Green Apple with some stickers on it, but the Green Apple, it looks really good actually, and I do see a fair amount of people using it, so that's why I decided to put it in. Also, if you add some stickers to it, it does make it look a lot better, so yeah. Also, one thing I really wish that they had on the Daks is that you could apply stickers to their scope, because I reckon that Drug War Veteran sticker, or maybe the FaZe Clan sticker on that scope, would make it just look 100 times better. For the FAMAS, I've chosen the Survivor Z. I mean, it looks okay. It is dropped a lot from the cases. That's pretty much the same with every other skin in this video. But it looks, you know, half decent in factory new condition. Now for the Galil, I've chosen the Rocket Pop because it's, you know, it's not a bad looking skin. It's really cheap. If you see someone using the Galil, chances are they're probably using the Rocket Pop, or they're using the Chatterbox or something like that. But the Galil Rocket Pop is the cheapest good looking Galil. So onto the M4A4, I've chosen the Evil Daimyo because when I've been in a lot of comp games and people are using the M4A4, it's either the Dragon King or the Evil Daimyo that I see the most, but I reckon the Evil Daimyo wins by far. It's a nice cheap purple as well, so yeah, that's why I have chosen it. Now onto the M4A1S, I've chosen the Beryl Forest, and just like a lot of the other skins, in comp, if you see someone using the M4A1S, they're probably using the Beryl Forest, unless they have a little bit of money, then they're probably using something like the Atomic Alloy or Golden Coil or something like that. Now onto the AK-47. The most expensive skin in this video is the AK-47 Redline Field Tested. Now, I don't know why, but there's just so many of these things. I mean, they're always on the front page of the Steam Marketplace, and I do see these used a lot in comp games and stuff, so that's why I've decided to put it in. Now for the SSG, I've chosen the Abyss. I don't know why this skin is so cheap. Maybe it's because it gets dropped from the cases so often, like every single other thing in this video, but you can't argue the Abyss looks pretty good for how cheap it is. It's only like 8 cents minimal wear, so if you want a nice cheap look, good looking scout, go pick up the Abyss. Now for the SG, I was tempted to put in the Aerial, but I think the Pulse I've seen used quite a bit compared to the Aerial. In the future though, I reckon the Aerial will be used a lot more because it doesn't look that bad, and it's in the new case, so it's going to be dropped just a heap more in the future. But if you're looking for a nice cheap SG, then choose the Pulse because, you know, it looks really good. Now for the AUG, I have chosen the Torque because the AUG, I do see this used a lot. You could also argue and say that the Bengal Tiger is used a fair bit, which it is, but I've just thought, why not put in the Torque, because I've just seen it used. Now onto the last skin of the video, we have the AWP Worm God. Now this thing is everywhere. You can't escape the AWP Worm God. And much like some of the other things, you could argue say something like the Safari Mesh or the Pit Viper is used more, but really the Orc Worm God is just used heaps and heaps. This thing, I mean, I don't think I've ever been to one game and not seen at least one Orc. Okay guys, now that concludes it for the video. Hope you have all enjoyed. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
The way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street. Under the sun, the back